Have you ever wondered how that flawless, flowing hair on your favorite celebrity costs more than a luxury car? The $30,000 custom wig you see on the red carpet isn't just hair. It's a 3-year journey that begins in ancient temples halfway across the world and ends in the hands of master artisans who've spent decades perfecting their craft. Right now, grab yourself a cup of coffee and get comfortable, because for the next few minutes, I'm taking you inside one of the most fascinating and secretive industries in the world. But before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what you're about to discover will completely change how you look at every strand of hair you see. The story begins not in a factory, but in the sacred Tirumala Temple in southern India. Every single day, thousands of pilgrims line up before dawn, waiting for their turn in the tonsuring halls. This isn't a fashion statement, it's a religious offering, a sacrifice of vanity to the gods. Between 500 and 700 tons of human hair are collected here annually, making this single temple the largest supplier of raw hair material in the entire world. By 3:30 in the morning, the barbers have already processed hundreds of heads. The hair falls in dark cascades onto white sheets, carefully gathered, bundled, and tagged by length and quality. What these pilgrims don't realize is that their spiritual offering is about to embark on a 10,000-mile journey to become one of the most expensive beauty products on the planet. But India isn't the only source. Walk into certain neighborhoods in rural China, and you'll find collectors going door to door, offering cash for long hair. In these villages, women have grown their hair for years, sometimes decades, viewing it as a valuable asset they can sell when needed. A single ponytail of virgin Chinese hair, meaning hair that has never been chemically treated, never been dyed, never even been blow-dried, can fetch anywhere from $200 to $800, depending on length and thickness. The collector examines each bundle with the eye of a diamond merchant, checking for split ends, gray strands, and overall health. Quality is everything in this business. Then there's Brazil and Eastern Europe, supplying what the industry calls the gold standard, naturally wavy, thick, virgin hair that commands premium prices. A kilogram of premium Brazilian hair can sell for $1,500 to $3,000 at wholesale. European hair, particularly from Russia and Ukraine, is even more valuable because of its naturally lighter colors. Blonde virgin hair is worth its weight in gold, sometimes literally. The rarest finds are sold at private auctions to manufacturers who specialize in ultra-luxury custom pieces. Once purchased, the hair begins its journey to processing facilities. The largest factories are concentrated in Qingdao, China, a coastal city that has become the undisputed capital of the global hair industry. Over 3,000 factories operate here, processing approximately $150 million worth of hair extensions and wigs annually. But you'll also find major facilities in Chennai, India, and increasingly in the United States, where manufacturers cater to the premium market, willing to pay top dollar for domestically produced products. The moment the hair arrives at the factory loading dock, it enters a quality control process more rigorous than most pharmaceutical facilities. Inspectors wearing white coats and surgical masks sort through each bundle under bright LED lights and magnifying glasses. They're checking for consistency and texture, searching for damage, and most importantly, determining the cuticle direction. Here's something most people don't know. Human hair has tiny scales called cuticles that point in one direction, from root to tip. In premium products called Remy hair, every single strand must be aligned in the same direction. If the cuticles are mixed, the hair will tangle into an impossible mess within days. The sorters work with incredible speed, their experienced fingers detecting differences in texture that machines still can't match. They separate the hair into 5 to 7 different grades. Grade 10A, the absolute highest quality, represents less than 2% of all collected hair. These are long, thick, completely virgin strands with perfect cuticles intact. This is what becomes those $30,000 wigs. Everything else gets sorted down the line, with the lowest grades eventually becoming inexpensive synthetic blend products or even industrial materials. Now the real transformation begins. The sorted hair moves to the washing stations, where it undergoes a cleaning process that would surprise most people. Remember, this hair has been sitting in temple collection rooms, traveling in shipping containers, and passing through countless hands. It's covered in dust, natural oils, sweat, bacteria, and sometimes even insects. The bundles are submerged in industrial washing machines filled with a specialized alkaline solution heated to exactly 130 degrees Fahrenheit. They tumble for 24 to 48 hours in this chemical bath, breaking down everything except the hair itself. The smell during this process is unforgettable. Imagine wet dog multiplied by 1,000. Workers wear respirators because the fumes from the cleaning agents can be overwhelming. After washing, the hair goes through an industrial centrifuge that spins at 3,000 rotations per minute, extracting every drop of water. Then comes one of the most critical decisions in the entire manufacturing process: what to do about the cuticles. For Remy hair, those precious aligned cuticles must be preserved at all costs. These bundles receive a gentle conditioning treatment and move directly to the next stage. But here's the industry secret nobody talks about. Most hair extensions you see in stores are not Remy. They're what's called Non-Remy, where the cuticles are completely stripped off using a harsh acid bath. Why would manufacturers intentionally destroy the hair's natural protective layer? Because it's nearly impossible to keep cuticles perfectly aligned during mass production. By removing them entirely and coating the hair shaft with silicone polymers, they create a product that feels silky smooth and looks gorgeous for about 3 to 6 months. Then the silicone washes out, and the hair becomes dry, tangled, and essentially worthless. The dyeing process is where science meets art. The factory floor houses rows of massive stainless steel vats, each one containing a different color formulation. Natural black hair must be lightened before it can be dyed, a process called lifting that uses hydrogen peroxide in carefully controlled concentrations. Too much, and the hair dissolves into mush. Too little, and the color won't take. The hair hangs in these vats for anywhere from 2 to 6 hours, depending on the target shade. Temperature control is absolutely critical. The solution must stay between 95 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit. A variance of even 5 degrees can ruin an entire batch worth thousands of dollars. Modern facilities now use computerized color matching systems that can create over 50 different shades and even complex multi-tonal effects like balayage and ombre. The hair is dyed in sections, with different parts receiving different processing times to create those natural-looking gradients you see on high-end extensions. A single bundle intended for ombre coloring might spend 8 hours in the dyeing department, moving through 4 different chemical baths. The most expensive custom orders involve hand-painting individual highlights onto small sections of hair, a process that can take a master colorist an entire day to complete for just one wig. After dyeing comes texturing, where straight hair can be transformed into anything from beach waves to tight curls. The traditional method involves wrapping wet hair around heated rods and steaming it for several hours. But cutting-edge facilities now use a technique called vapor infusion. The hair is treated with a keratin solution, then shaped and exposed to controlled bursts of pressurized steam at exactly 320 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. This literally reforms the protein bonds inside each strand, creating curls that can last for years. For straight styles, the hair passes through industrial-grade ceramic flat irons heated to 400 degrees, pulled taut by mechanical rollers, moving at precise speeds. A single pass isn't enough. Each bundle goes through this process 3 to 5 times to achieve that mirror-like smoothness you see in premium straight extensions. The newest factories have invested in artificial intelligence systems that can sort hair by texture and thickness with 98% accuracy. Robotic arms equipped with optical sensors examine each strand, making decisions in milliseconds that used to take human workers hours. One facility in Qingdao processes 15 tons of hair per day using just 30 employees, compared to the 200 workers they needed a decade ago. But here's the irony. The most expensive products still require human hands for the final steps because no machine can yet replicate the judgment of an experienced craftsperson who's been doing this for 30 years. Now we arrive at the most labor-intensive stage, transforming processed hair into finished products. For hair extensions, the process splits into several distinct paths, depending on the attachment method. Clip-in extensions are the simplest. The hair gets sewn onto fabric wefts, long strips of tightly woven material using industrial sewing machines that can stitch through dense hair bundles at speeds up to 2,000 stitches per minute. Workers then hand-attach small metal clips at precise intervals, usually spaced 2 to 3 inches apart. A full set of clip-in extensions contains 7 to 10 individual pieces and takes about 45 minutes to complete in a high-volume factory. Tape-in extensions require even more precision. Thin polyurethane tape strips, each exactly 4 centimeters wide, are applied to the top of small hair wefts using a heat press machine calibrated to 300 degrees. The pressure must be perfect. Too much, and the tape becomes too thin and won't hold. Too little, and it peels off within days. Quality control inspectors test every 10th piece by actually applying it to a mannequin head and leaving it for 72 hours to ensure the adhesive holds. Keratin bond extensions, the type preferred by high-end salons, involve an entirely different process. Small bundles of 25 to 50 hairs get dipped into molten keratin protein, heated to exactly 290 degrees Fahrenheit. As the keratin cools, it forms a small, flat bond at the top of each bundle. A skilled worker can produce about 300 individual bonds per day. These tiny pieces will later be fused to individual strands of a client's natural hair using a heat tool, creating an application so seamless it's virtually undetectable. But wigs are where the real artistry happens. The foundation of every wig is the cap, and there are three main types. Machine-wefted caps are the most affordable, where hair wefts are sewn onto fabric strips in a circular pattern. These take 2 to 4 hours to complete and sell for $300 to $1,000. Monofilament caps use a thin, breathable mesh that creates the illusion of hair growing directly from the scalp, requiring 6 to 8 hours of work. Then there's lace, the premium choice for anyone wanting absolute realism. A full lace wig begins with a Swiss lace cap so fine you can barely see it, even up close. Master ventilators, that's their actual job title. Use tiny crochet hooks to individually knot single strands or small clusters of hair through the microscopic holes in the lace. They work under magnifying lamps, tying approximately 150 knots per square inch. A full lace wig contains roughly 120,000 individual knots. Working 8 hours a day, a skilled ventilator needs 40 to 60 hours to complete a single custom piece. This is why those celebrity wigs cost $30,000. You're not just buying hair, you're buying hundreds of hours of meticulous handwork. Every finished product undergoes rigorous quality testing. Technicians perform pull tests, yanking on the hair with calibrated force meters to ensure the bonds or knots won't fail. Heat resistance tests expose samples to flat irons at 450 degrees for 60 seconds. Color fastness tests involve washing samples 20 times in harsh detergents to simulate months of use. Under electron microscopes, inspectors examine the cuticle structure, or lack thereof, to verify the product matches its labeled grade. Rejection rates at top manufacturers run between 5 and 8%. Those rejected pieces get downgraded and sold through discount channels. The packaging tells its own story about market positioning. Budget extensions go into simple plastic bags with cardboard headers. Mid-range products get rigid plastic boxes with instruction booklets. But luxury wigs? They arrive in custom wooden boxes lined with silk, complete with authentication certificates, care kits containing special shampoos and conditioners, and sometimes even USB drives with video tutorials for styling and maintenance. The global hair extension and wig market is worth over $10 billion annually and growing at 8 to 9% every year. Synthetic fiber extensions sell for $50 to $200. Real human hair extensions range from $200 to $2,000. Standard wigs cost $300 to $1,500. But those custom, hand-tied, virgin hair masterpieces? $3,000 to $30,000. And clients wait 6 months or more for delivery. From temple offerings to red carpet glamour, from sacred ritual to $10 billion industry, that's the journey of every strand. Thanks for watching this deep dive into one of fashion's most secretive manufacturing processes. If you found this fascinating, smash that like button, share it with anyone who's ever wondered about their hair extensions, and subscribe for more inside looks at how luxury products are really made. Next time, we're going inside the diamond cutting facilities where million-dollar stones are created. You won't want to miss it.